Okay. What I want to talk to you about today could change your financial picture forever. This one thing could absolutely change everything because it will literally save you years, maybe decades of time of wasted energy potentially. But first, why should you listen to me? My name's Brennan Weersma. I'm an airline pilot. I went to flight school and a 4 year university. I got in a bunch of debt. I got a high paying job, and now I'm hyper focused about getting complete control over where my money goes and showing other people how to do the same thing. I've taken the Series 65 study material. I'm planning on passing that test. I don't think I'm going to become a financial advisor because the SEC regulates too much of what you say, but who knows? Maybe in the future. Either way, it's here nor there. Uh, I'm here because I want to share some financial tips that I've learned and found helpful. If you find that interesting, feel free to stay tuned or go to the next video. But today, the one crucial thing I want to talk to you about is how to pay down debt the fastest or the most efficient way. Now that's more complicated than you might think. It's not a one size fits all. There's two main methods that you can use to pay down debt. There's going to be the avalanche method and there's the snowball method. Okay, so let's start with the avalanche method. This is where you take the highest interest debt that you have and you pay that one first. It doesn't have to be the highest amount. It has to be the highest interest because that's the one that is costing you the most money. And what's going to happen is in the beginning, like how debt works, in the beginning, most of the payments are going to be going towards interest. So it's going to feel like you're just not making any progress. But eventually you're going to chip away at it enough where more of those payments are going to start going towards principal and it's going to be like an avalanche and you're just going to pay it all off. And mathematically, this makes the most sense. It's going to pay it back the quickest. Now, like an avalanche, you're going to be at the bottom looking up at a mountain, right? You're going to be staring at the top of that mountain and it's going to feel like you're never going to get to the top, which is the biggest downside to using this method. It's not a math problem. It's a psychological problem of why you wouldn't do this. Because mathematically, yeah, it's gonna get you the quickest. But if it seems like an impossible task, you're probably gonna feel less inclined to work extra hard, take the extra shifts, and pay as much as you can to get the debt down because it feels like, well, if it's going to take me 10 years, I might as well just go eat at Chipotle now and enjoy that right now instead of having to wait 10 more years. And it's really a psychological issue, which brings me to the next method, which is the snowball method. Now, the snowball method says that you're going to take the smallest amount debt. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is. It matters what the amount is. And you're going to throw everything at that debt. You're going to take it all out and it's going to happen quick. You're going to see immediate feedback because it's a smaller amount. So the impact is going to be apparent quicker and you're going to pay that first debt off right away and it's going to feel great. And that momentum is going to allow you to keep snowballing that forward into the next highest one and the next highest one and the next highest one. And that's those psychological wins each time are going to allow you to, in some cases, pay it down quicker because you're reinforced to pay it back. Now, I would actually leap to say that the snowball method is better for most people, unless you have rigorous discipline and insane mental fortitude and you plan everything out before you even start. So there's no negotiating with yourself about how much you're going to do this month or this month. You have it in a budget that says this amount is going towards my debt every single month, no matter what. Then I would say the avalanche method because it's at that point, it's just a math problem. Where do you want that amount to go every single month? And then you would also make a rule with yourself that anytime you get a windfall of money, maybe a tax return or a gift, or you sell a house, you get a promotion at work or a bonus, any big chunk of money, you throw that towards the student loan or the credit card debt or whatever it is. And you make a promise to yourself that all of that is going to go towards the highest interest rate debt. And mathematically, you're going to pay it down quicker. Now, if there's any question about what you're going to be doing with your money every single month, and if you can really do it, if you have any of those doubts or things creeping up, if you're just starting out on this, I would say go get that first win. Find that smallest debt and do do the little things, right? You're going to shop at Aldi instead of HEB or Kroger or whatever your grocery store is. You're going to not go out and you're not going to keep up with the Joneses, and you're going to uh, get little wins here and there and use those little milestones and use those as momentum, and then take that first small debt, take that win and celebrate it, and carry that momentum into your next step. I would say for most people that actually works the best. And that leans into some other topics as well. There's a lot of strategies that you can use to pay down debt quicker. Like, for example, let's say you have a whole bunch of loans. You got credit card loans here, student loans here, you got a card payment here, all have different interest rates, all different amounts, and it's kind of all over the place. Well, and it's in the snowball method, it's a target rich environment. This says, well, okay, I'm gonna go pay off this small one right here. Bam, that's done. On to the next one. Well, another way to kind of force the avalanche method would be to say, okay, some of these interest rates are up at like 20%. It's a credit card. This one's 10%. This one's this. And there's companies that will, banks, whatever, will refinance all of those loans into one larger amount with a lower interest rate. Now, mathematically, you're probably going to pay it down quicker if you were to contribute the same amount. But to be honest, the reality of the situation is if you are aggressively paying down this debt anyways, consolidating all those debts into one and, paying it in one large amount rather than across the multiple, it's not going to make that much of a difference because the interest is going to eat you alive if you let these loans stretch out over decades of time. Then you're going to be paying potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars difference based on the duration. But if you commit to paying these stuff off in 5 years or less, or even 10 years, it's really not going to make that much of a difference whether or not you saved on the interest rate there. If you're a person that's already struggling with spending too much on your credit card, you don't consistently spend less than you make, then probably I would say the snowball method, because you're going to keep piling yourself up into these debts, and it's not good. It's not the type of mentality that's going to be required to just meticulously stick to a regimented plan of paying down the highest interest rate. So if it were me, to the average person, I would say go ahead and take the snowball method. It's not going to make that much of a difference time wise, and you're going to get way more positive feedback way sooner, and that's going to help propel you into the next win and into everything else you do. I think a lot of this stuff, personal finance, it's personal. It's about you. And I think it also starts with improving yourself, whether that's being disciplined across other areas of your life that's going to carry over into your finances, the way that you hold yourself, the confidence you have, it all stems from the same place. And working on things like that is only going to help you even more when it comes down to taking care of your personal finances and paying down debt and holding yourself accountable, right? Because ultimately, if you have debts to other people, these are all things that and commitments that you are, in a sense, having not held up your end of the deal, right? You are in debt to something or somebody else, and I think that is a mental weight that you can carry with you, especially if it's something like credit card debt. And if you are the type of person that decides they take control of their life and they take care of things that need to be taken care of, and they don't put things off, they don't let things go down the road. I think that is part of this problem. It's not just as simple as a math problem or, one specific strategy about paying down debt. That's just my 2 cents. If you found any of this useful, please comment your next financial goal below. And I want you to take your like button and what's something creative you could do with the like button. I would like you to sell your like button at a pawn shop and see how much cash you could get for it, and then hit the subscribe button. We're gonna end it there. I also have a free school community where I talk about finance stuff. I do live calls with millionaires, and we talk about different strategies from real estate to personal finance. And there's a bunch of free resources in there, a budget spreadsheet. So if you got any value in this video, please like and subscribe, all that stuff, and join the school community. I'd love to personally talk with you in there. And we'll see you in the next one.